Hello, campers. Welcome to another episode of Vinyl Fetish. We are in our in the first fifth of our 100 albums that must be in your collection, or 100 albums that you might not think of that should really be experienced in vinyl. And we're at number 20, and I'm excited about this week because you might not expect it, knowing kind of the stuff that I like and the headspace that I live in. But at number 20 of albums that you must have in your collection is none other than Taylor Swift's 2022 release, late 2022 release of Midnights. Midnights. I remember when I first heard about this album, I thought they were supposed to be called Midgets, and then I thought that would probably be not welcome in this climate. But it's in fact Midnights. That's the name of it. This is the vinyl edition. There are multiple vinyl editions. There are multiple covers. If anybody was around when Led Zeppelin released Into the Outdoor, and how there were multiple covers when that was released, this is the Led Zeppelin of the 2020s, I guess. And you know, this release is, so you may see it with a different cover. It's all the same sort of basic layout, but different things of Taylor missing somebody. Great packaging. It's all on a single disc. This is like the old, open albums of the 70s with a nice little book of pictures of Taylor missing somebody. I don't know. Is she missing me? She hasn't met me yet. This thing broke all kinds of records when it came out. It actually broke Spotify because the servers were overloaded. They were down for 10 minutes. And more than 1 million sold in the first week of release, beating the Beatles. So, we know that it's huge. We know that it's significant. What we want to talk about tonight is why it's important musically, why it fits. And it's been sort of described, I think, in reading the reviews, as basically the Taylor Swift album for people that hate Taylor Swift. I, previous to this release, really knew nothing about her other than she was huge. I was doing a cross-country drive in, I think, 2010, when I hit Kansas and had the radio on. Every song was her singing about her boyfriend in a pickup truck. So I had these preconceived notions about her. But in fact, she's had quite a long career. I mean, this album comes out 16 years after her first album. And if you think about your favorite contemporary artists, like what was Bowie doing 16 years after Space Oddity? I mean, that's like 1985. It's like Blue Jean. Like, he was just over. The fact that Taylor is bigger every moment. She's in this huge world tour that's happening right now. She's playing up in Seattle this weekend, which is that way. All you people that are going to enjoy those two Taylor era shows. It's been described as much different than her previous albums. Obviously, the terms have been like soft loop music, a little bit of trip hop, a little bit of looping, chill out, electro pop, dream pop, bedroom pop, pop, synth pop, dreamy scape, dream music, ambient music. I don't know. I mean, to me, as someone who is sort of new to this person, it reminds me a lot of Portishead, a lot of the trip hop from back at the turn of the century. And her vocal style is very contemporary. It's very Post Malone and Olivia Rodrigo, and it fits in with that. But I think the production of this album is why it's important. It doesn't sound like anything she's ever done. The theme of Midnights is that these are late night thoughts, late night wondering what it all means, Alfie. And I think the songs that Taylor Smith? My brother's in town. We just watched Yellow Submarine, so excuse me. Where I think people mostly think about Taylor Smith's lyrical world being is she just got dropped by somebody, or she broke up with somebody, and she's going to write a lot of angry songs about her ex-boyfriend. I think that's the stereotype, cliche narrative about Taylor Smith. I'm a Smithy. This one is a lot more inward. There's a lot more inward reflection. I mean, I think the song that is probably most known by people from this record is Anti-Hero, where she's talking about, her inner child and confusing narcissism for whatever. I mean, it's like a therapy session. But a lot of it is more like, hey, it's me. I'm the one that screwed all this up. And it's not the poor, celebrity girl. It's more like, hey, this is the time for me to take a little bit of internal journey. There's so many great songs on here. They all have like really different vibes. Karma is like a mean song, I think, targeted at the guy that screwed her over in her contract, which is why why she's re-releasing. You know, this is like a real feminist statement, right? She's taking her ownership of her old back catalog and re-recording it. And so I'm pretty sure Karma is that song about that guy, because there's a little like barb. My favorite song is called Midnight Rain, where her voice is channeled. I mean, a lot of people are like, oh, auto-tuning. It's a filter. Like the Beatles used filters on their vocals too, from 66 on. So yeah, I like that one a lot. Because it doesn't sound like her. And of course, people are going to be diagramming the lyrical meaning of every single sentence on this record. And that's not what this is about. This is about the feel of this record. Why is this record worth having? I mean, it's Taylor Swift, right? She's like bigger than half the countries on Earth in terms of GDP. Did I tell you my brother is in town and we just watched Yellow Submarine? Right, there's tons of undiscovered bands and vinyl that nobody else has heard about, and you're so cool because you're the one person that has. I get it. The more obscure, the more we value it. This is the biggest thing on earth. In fact, the vinyl production of it was so massive that vinyl by other artists, small artists and big artists, wasn't getting to market because such a lion's share of the vinyl that was being produced was Taylor Swift's Midnight Midgets album. Taylor Swift's Taylor Taylor Swift's Midnight Taylor Smith's Taylor Smith. Oklahoma. Taylor Smith's Midgets album. Taylor Smith's Midget. Taylor Swift Midnight. I got it. This is not going well. Okay. The reason this is a record worth having by people who love vinyl and love records is the way it sounds. It does really capture that late after midnight when music sounds the best and people are a little bit tweaked and you're hearing things that you never heard before. It really captures that because a lot of these songs are multi-layered. There's melodies with inside melodies. There's really interesting production from the guy that she's been working with for a while, but they really turned it up a notch to give it this kind of dream hop, whatever feel that it's got. One of the things that helps this record achieve that vibe is the fact that Lana Del Rey is on it. She has a song on here, which is the Snow on the Beach song. Not the best song on the album, but it's pretty cool because once you hear Lana's voice, you realize that Taylor is trying to kind of tap into the vibe that Lana Del Rey creates on her wonderful records. We've talked about this one before, also in the top 20. And so it's just on vinyl, right? There's like all these 3 a.m. versions, all these different streaming versions, and it just gets overwhelming. Give me the 13 songs on this record and call it a day. Side 1, side 2, it sounds so great late at night. Midnights, right? And it really creates a vibe. The whole record is kind of consistent in creating this vibe. There's no kind of outlier that all of a sudden is just like screaming from the rooftops or, overly emo. There is a beautiful warmth to this record, and I dare say she is the dominant artist of the first half of the 2020s, and maybe the 20th century. I mean, she's really significant, and I think the way we look at Joni Mitchell records now from 1971. In 1971, they had their niche audience, but now we're like, those things are sacred and holy. The way this sounds will be looked at 50 years from now as really capturing the feel and the sound and the kind of, the aesthetic of the 2020s. All right, this is it, Taylor Swift. I made it through. Sorry. This is really great. I mean, I think we're going to talk about more contemporary artists, but we're going to kind of go back in the past to the 1960s. That's just a little clue for next week. And we're going to get into the next 20 of our top 100 albums that must be in your collection. This record is wonderful. I know it's huge, maybe the hugest record ever made, but it matters. And you matter, so let's talk about it. Hey, I'd like to take this moment to apologize for that video. I do not mean to imply that one must get high to listen to Taylor Swift.
It's Taylor Swift.
Thank you. I keep forgetting. Taylor Swift. Thanks, Codes. And thanks for your help last time on the Monkees review. I did want to, you know, I had all these things to say about that album, including the lyrical complexity to it. I really like the way she puts words together. It is an adult theme record, so I don't play it in the house a lot because the language on it is problematic. So we listen to it after midnight, and Taylor Swiss cheese. And I just wanted to apologize. I'd also like to thank my friend Jamie for lending me her vinyl copy of Taylor Swift. It's been on my tabletop a lot lately. Okay.